Oh, g'day everyone. Have you ever had the kind of plant that you really like, either for the flower or the fruit that grows on it, but it just keeps dying? Well, I've got one of them. I've mentioned it before, and it's this fella, Midyim Berry. Australian native, has little white berry, purple dots, tastes like a eucalypt blueberry, as I've said before. And I plant them and they die, and they plant them and they die, but not always. One out of the 3 or 4 that I planted has grown beautifully, as we can see by this one. It's just finished flowering, lots of fruit developing on it. We can see there, well, you can't see, but I can. I'll bring you in for a closer look in a minute. But I'm not one to give up. So I did some reading. I usually do too much of that at work. But anyway, I did some reading, and it turns out it likes a slightly acidic soil, well draining, lots of compost. So I've got a bit of a mix here that we're going to use, and hopefully this time it'll live. First one I'm going to be putting in is this. Actually for succulents. I've had it lying around for a long time. It's very free draining, so I'm going to put that in the bottom. And it's really there just to help the soil drain. I also have, if I can get it, this Australian native, specifically for Australian natives, so it'll be low phosphorus and suitable for this type of plant, I hope. Also down there I've got some acid mix, which I will just put a little bit in, just to make sure it's slightly acidic. Mixed into all this, we will put some good garden compost. It's a bought one, I bought it a while ago. I could use my own, but just want to finish that off. And of course we'll mulch it with some triple C on top. Not too much because of the chicken manure that's in there. So let's get on with it. Where's my knife? I've got a nice big pot for it. We can go next to the other ones. And we'll drop in our bag of succulent and cacti mix. Spread that out around the bottom. Gives a bit of weight to it, a bit of body. And if we look at it here, it's not as free draining as I originally thought. Quite sandy. Not what I expected, but we can still use it. Let's get our native mix. This is it here. Reasonable amount of sand, some wood chips. Fairly loose. Let's pop that in. Our compost. Right, break that up and we'll give it a good mix through. Get some of our acid mix. There's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 litres of acid mix there. It's an acid concentrate from Green Life Soil, by the way, if you ever want to get some. It's always handy to keep some lying around. I've got a blueberry to plant later, so we'll be using it there. Right, make sure it's well mixed in because we don't want it too acidic. Come in and have a closer look. It's a plastic bag I'm breaking up, but so there he is, Midyim. Let's take our label out. It's not root bound, so we won't actually break the roots up. Don't want to disturb them. We'll just going to need a little bit more. Oh no, that should be right for soil. Because we'll put the triple C on top. And there he is there. Final touch. Well, not quite the final touch. I'm going to put some seaweed on here as well, because that's suitable for natives. Mixed up a watering can of power feed. Or seaweed actually, no, just seaweed, not power feed. And there we go. So we'll just water that in, as I said, with some seaweed extract as well, and it should be good. If you have a look at this, there's some of our berries forming on this one, which is going really, really well. It's actually planted way over there. Now, one thing I'm really hoping for is if we lift him up, I hope that that is one of the seeds that have dropped from the parent plant, fallen into my pot where they died before. Fingers crossed, that's another Midyim. I'll get the standard seaweed solution on there, not mixed up any stronger or weaker. Water it in really well and keep a very close eye on it over the next few days. So if it starts to die, I'm going to pull it back out and put it back in its little pot and try again. Had any luck with these? If you have, anything special you did. They can be a pain. Anyway, you enjoy life. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and I'll catch you in the garden.